Okay guys, three things we're going to talk about in the full swing lesson are three very important, they're actually laws in golf. Okay, so we're going to talk about club face position. Okay, so basically when the club face makes contact with the ball, what's the position that it's in? Is it closed? Is it open? Okay, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about club path. So that's the path that the club goes back and through to hit the ball, okay? And then the last thing we're going to talk about is angle of approach. So that is the attack angle that you, from the top of the backswing, that you come down and strike the ball. It's the angle that you do it. So all three are very important in the full swing, and we're going to talk about them as well, as a group as well as individually. Okay, James, so in this segment what I'm going to talk about is club face position. So what that means is what position the club face is in when it makes contact with the ball. It could look like this, which would be square to the target line. It could look like this, which would be closed, and it could look like this and be open. So all three of those are going to produce what? Different directions. Oh yeah, all three will produce different things. So I'd like you to go ahead and set up first here. And get into your posture like we talked about earlier in this lesson. And go ahead and make a swing. Okay, great. So, ball flight can tell us a lot about what the club face is doing at impact, right? Okay, so you were able to set up through our target line here, represented with our alignment stick, and make a golf swing. So I'm going to explain a couple different of the paths that the club can travel on, and what's most important is to know what ball flights they produce. Okay, so if the club has a tendency to travel inside this target line, imagine this target line runs straight through the golf ball all the way out here behind us. If the club travels inside the target line on the takeaway and it stays inside the target line on the way through, the shot is going to be a right to left type shot. It's going to go left of our target line. Okay, and if the club starts outside the target line and stays outside the target line on the way down, even if the club face is square, which we talked about earlier, the ball is going to have it to go right. Yeah, does that make sense? So that's how important club path is. Now we're going to talk about the angle of approach. So that is the angle that the club head goes on to get to the ball. Okay? And we're going to do a couple things. We're going to talk about two different things. We're going to talk about your angle of approach when using your driver, and we're going to talk about your angle of approach when using like a 9-iron or a pitching wedge. Okay? So you have a 9-iron here. So we're going to start with the 9. Okay. The reason why you want the ball position back in the stance is because the 9-iron has a lot of loft, doesn't it? The farther back the ball is in your stance, the lower the ball goes, right? Well, this already has a lot of loft, so the ball's going to get up in the air, right? Okay, so go ahead and set up with your 9-iron here.